Trudeau says Pope should apologize on Canadian soil for Church's role in residential schools.
Here's a summary of the article.
Ottawa, June 25. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said on Friday he has asked the Pope to come to Canada to apologize for the Catholic Church's role running residential schools for Indigenous children, after nearly 1,000 bodies were found in 2 mass graves. I have spoken personally directly with His Holiness Pope Francis to press upon him how important it is not just that he makes an apology but that he makes an apology to Indigenous Canadians on Canadian soil, Trudeau told reporters in Ottawa. Cowessess First Nation said on Thursday some 751 unmarked graves had been found at the site of Marieville Residential School in Saskatchewan, just weeks after 215 unmarked graves were discovered at a former school in British Columbia. The residential school system, which operated between 1831 and 1996, removed about 150,000 Indigenous children from their families and brought them to Christian residential schools, mostly Catholic, run on behalf of the federal government. A federal commission's report found the residential school system enacted cultural genocide on Canada's Indigenous people. I have heard directly from many Catholics across this country who want to see the Church play a positive role in this, Trudeau added. Reporting by Steve Shearer in Ottawa. Writing by Moira Warburton in Vancouver.
This post received a score of 39,000, with an upvote ratio of 83%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Ain't no way the Pope is going to a foreign country to make a statement of responsibility for a crime against humanity.
That would be a pretty slippery slope. The bodies are piled high by the hands of the Church.
Cover him in Vaseline and you could have a slippery Pope on a slippery slope. Jokes aside, the Catholic Church is awful. Fuck those guys.
At the risk of pushing a trope, I'd hope that slippery slope leads to a Pope on a rope, but in spite of these dopes, my conscience says nope. So I guess the Pope gets to live.
Alrighty there, Princess Carolyn, P.
Can he make a stop at Ireland along the way?
Really, he needs to be making a lot of stops.
It's the Papal Apology Tour. Mega Culpa 2022. Pre-order your tickets now and get a free shirt. Tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy.
Adding quote, and then deny communion to everyone involved because that's apparently more of a punishment than anything else.
Run on behalf of the federal government. Sounds like there wasn't much oversight by the government. How do so many children go missing without the government knowing about it?
Complicity, that's how. The government absolutely knew, just chose to either ignore it because it reflects badly on them or because they didn't think anything wrong of it. The blood from these crimes aren't only on the Church's hands but the government's as well.
There is absolutely blood on the hands of the Canadian government, but at least they've issued a formal apology for the residential school system. The government is now asking that the Catholic Church do the same.
Can we ask that the Catholic Church fork over some money to help pay for the efforts towards finding out where these graves are and/or who they belong to? Edit. I would also like to say, at what point does being part of an organization that does this, has done this and more, repulse you as a member? How can you be a part of an organization and be all right with it?
Nah, they plan on taking their bank to the grave. Look at the restitution they pay to their priests' victims. They legally gag children and then pay off parents.
My local diocese went bankrupt from the hundreds of allegations.
The Long Island Diocese? I've been following that.
Yeah, Rockville Center.
That whole shit show is a GD damn travesty. They don't pay taxes but want to utilize tax-paid public services like courts to declare bankruptcy and fight abuse allegations. I bet the irony is completely lost on them all.
That's like villain in a book level thinking. Craziness.
Didn't Canada allow the Church to do all that shit?
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.